First, one of the things that makes Maine special is the windjammer fleet that sails out of Camden and Rockland.
There are 9 sailing ships in the fleet, and in the summer and early fall, they carry passengers from around the world, introducing them to the coast and islands of down East Maine.
For a vessel that was part of the windjammer fleet for decades, this is a landmark day. And for the people who love that vessel, a sad one. Part of the beauty of sailing aboard a windjammer is that time moves at a different pace. Where the vessel goes and how quickly depends on the wind. And the wind is supremely indifferent to schedules and deadlines.
She's now out, down the field of burn.
Nobody knows my song.
But a deadline has arrived for the 123-year-old schooner Victory Chimes that could not be ignored. The ship had to be moved from its dock in Rockland Harbor by today. Why? Because last week, in an online auction, the Victory Chimes was sold for just under $76,000. It is the latest chapter in a long history. From 1900 to 1946, the Victory Chimes hauled cargo in the Chesapeake Bay. In the 1950s, she began taking on passengers in Maine. Kip Files bought the vessel in the 1990s, and when the time came for him to step away, it was bittersweet.
It's real tough. Well, it's a great lifestyle. I've met some great people.
The next owner, Sam Sikkema, had sailed all over the world. Sikkema had a passion for old boats.
I've really always loved the history aspect of, how this country was built with these ships. And that's always drawn me to the historical ships and these ones that are worth preserving. And this one, to me, is one of the most important ones to preserve. I think it's worth that somebody does that, and I'm really excited to be the person who gets to do that.
When the U.S. Mint decided to create special quarters representing each of the 50 states, the question came up, what image to put on the coin? The design Maine ended up choosing, an image of the 3-masted Victory Chimes off Pemaquid Point Light. When the coin was introduced in a special ceremony at Pemaquid in 2003, hundreds of people showed up to buy those bright, shiny Maine quarters.
There you go.
Come ahead, 1,200, straight.
Through the first 2 decades of this century, the rhythms of life aboard the Victory Chimes remained the same. Passengers who spent time on the schooner regularly fell in love with the coast of Maine. The lure of the old ship may have been stronger than ever.
It's been a lifelong dream to go on a schooner, and so we knew maybe the opportunities were drawing to a close, and we didn't want to miss out. So
when the pandemic struck, the windjammer fleet took a brutal financial hit. It forced owner Sam Sikkema to make a difficult decision, and he announced that 2022 would be the final year the Victory Chimes would sail with passengers.
Honestly, it's a punch in the gut, but it's also I feel grateful that we get the chance to do it gracefully.
It is a slight consolation to consider what an exceptionally long and useful life the Victory Chimes had.
Vessels like the Victory Chimes, which were built to be working merchant vessels, they were meant to only last, on average, a wooden sailing vessel lasted 13 years. So this is an extraordinary life.
So what lies ahead for the Victory Chimes? The 2 men who bought the ship this month have said nothing publicly about what they're going to do with it. However, they have acquired other vessels and turned them into restaurants, which means that after more than a century on the water, the Victory Chimes may soon be approaching its final voyage.
But my true love is bound to stay behind.
I reached out to the 2 men who bought the Victory Chimes, didn't hear anything back from them, but again, they have a history of acquiring boats and turning them into floating restaurants in the New York City area, so we'll see what happens to the Victory Chimes. We'll keep following the story.
Could be worse, I guess. Lots of history there.